Yeah.
Hi everyone and welcome to another episode. This one is super spontaneous. I'm literally sitting here on my parents' couch talking into my phone because my clip-on microphone doesn't go into my laptop and all the things, so I'm like without my usual equipment. So I hope the sound quality is okay. But this episode just wanted out, so we're just gonna roll with it. Perfectionism and all, you know. um, it's the December 24th today, so the winter solstice has just passed like a couple of days ago, and we're moving into the holidays. Mm. And I'm celebrating the winter solstice and the days that follow. I'm not specifically celebrating Christmas, as I'm not like typically Christian. Um, but the whole atmosphere, like it's all very, it has the potential to be very magical. However, this time, especially for those of you who also have not just a creative job but a day job like I do. I work at a bookstore, and it's chaos. It has been chaos the past couple of days because everyone just needs presents and all these things, and it was very stressful, and there was a lot going on, and I felt not very creative. I felt super creative on the winter solstice. It was a Sunday, and I really took my time to just do whatever I felt called to do. But Monday, Tuesday, it was so stressful at my day job. I completely fell out of this magical feeling of this creative experience, you know? And I'm having like, it really takes some effort for me to find this place again where I feel in tune with the energy of the current time, you know, or feel creative, and not because I feel or think I have to do something, but it's this delicious feeling of being in the zone, of seeing magic and art everywhere and just feeling it, you know? And it's so hard to feel creative during times of immense stress or where there's a lot going on. Um, and I specifically don't mean being creative, not in the sense that it's about actively creating something, but this feeling, this is, my brand is called Velvet Sun Indigo, and that's what it is. The vibe of creativity, this feeling of being in the zone, and feeling creative, and seeing art everywhere, and I don't know, the way the table, the things on the table are arranged, it somehow is very aesthetic, and you feel like an artist. You feel like the artist that you are. The creative. This is what I call the creative experience. So, and it's so easy to slip out of this. I feel like I'm slipping out of this runway of this lane whenever there's a lot going on in my life. When there's a lot of stress and a lot of other work to do and non-creative work to do, or just a lot going on. And I was musing on how to, and this is what this episode is about, but I felt there's also a component to it that is about pressure. But we'll get to that. Um, that it's this what this episode is about is how to feel again like this artist that we are during times of immense stress when there's a lot going on. And what I did, I mean, for me, pressure is a huge pain in my freaking ass, you know? Like, I woke up this morning, like, I'm at my parents' house now, hence the no proper equipment. um, I woke up this morning and I felt this pressure to create something and do something, or really use this creative, like this innate creative time properly. And the reason why I felt this kind of pressure to create is because I didn't feel creative in the first place, because there was so much going on. So I wondered what it is. Why did I slip out of this creative zone? And yes, because there was a lot going on. But how can I, no matter, like, even if there's a lot going on, is there a way for me to tap into the zone anyway? Um, and it can be little things, it can be like on the drive here to my parents' house, I listen to specific kinds of music because music is a portal for me. And there are certain songs that just connect me to this magic, to the cosmic energy, to the creative energy, whatever you want to call it. And it helped me tap into it a little bit. Um, but the thing is, there's still stress in my body. And this is where somatic work helps me so much, because there's stress in my body. It's not particularly like emotions and high emotions, but it's just a lot going on. And the reason why I fell out of this feeling of being creative, it's because I'm not fully aware of, like it's mindfulness. It's such a cheesy, en vogue thing, but it is the truth. It's actually like, it's legit. Um, so I was so, like, not in myself. I didn't feel present in myself. I didn't feel present in my body. And that's why I didn't feel creative, because I was like outside of myself with my thoughts, with my awareness, because there was a lot going on outside. And like when you're like during the holidays, I mean, my holidays, it's just my parents and me. It's and a couple of relatives. It's chill. But I mean, if you have like a stressful holiday schedule, you may know what I'm talking about. And the thing is, we're so not present with ourselves because there's a lot outside going on, and our awareness is outside of us. And that's why it's stressful. Doesn't like it's beyond, not even about the creative side of it. Like when we're so outside of ourselves and concerned with everything outside of us, we're not present in ourselves, not present in our bodies. And that creates stress, that creates disconnection from ourselves. And this is when we're not centered in ourselves. This applies to everyone. So, and when we're creatives, we know how good it feels to be in the zone, feel like see art everywhere. And it's just this, I don't know if it's the same for you, but for me, it's like I feel so good in myself and so at home and so anchored in myself when I'm in the creative zone, or at least more present with that, more connected to that. And I felt very disconnected from that because I was not connected to myself, not connected to my body. So what I did was um reconnect, like finding, being present in my body with all the sensations I feel in my body. And it's not about creativity at all in this moment, at this moment. It's about really, and it's okay if it's just 5 minutes that you close your eyes or whatever, and you feel into your body. Is there pressure somewhere? Is there a tingling somewhere? Is there, I don't know, does it feel tight, or does it feel like a big space, or what is going on? And this makes such a difference. Mm, I don't know, you can do some like, I felt stuck, and there was a lot of energy in me, and there was a lot headspace. So I don't know, I just rubbed my head for a couple of minutes, and this brought the awareness back to my body, and wasn't all like in my headspace. Or I don't know, you can just hug yourself and just feel your body. That's the very first step. And that brings you back to yourself and brings the awareness back to yourself. And that's the first step we can take towards also like feeling creative and feeling ourselves as the creatives that we are. Because I feel like whenever I'm not in this, like, it's when I say in the zone, I don't necessarily mean creative output zone, but I mean feeling myself as the artist. Like it's the creative experience, as like I said. When I don't feel or experience myself in this creative vortex, creative experience of life, I feel disconnected from myself and I get very cranky. So it's not about creating itself, but it's about the feeling of yourself, how you feel in yourself, you know? So it's basically a question of being connected to yourself or not. So I'm doing these somatic practices to bring the awareness back to myself, my body. And then you can, like, there are a couple of things you can do to, walk through this portal into this realm of creativity, of creative experience. Like I said, for me it's music. Like when I listen to certain songs, it opens a portal, and when I'm more connected and present in my body, then I have the chance, or the music has the chance to open this portal for me. So I feel more present in my surrounding and present in myself, and it feels more magical, aka more creative. And all of a sudden, the moon is not just the moon, but it's like, oh my God, it's this mystical appearance in the sky. And just experiencing life that way, it's just way more fun, and it feels way more like me, and therefore, like, just better experience of life. and but it can be all kinds of things. It can be a book you read, like a magical story, or an inspiring story, or I mean, you can like do a little things of creating, but with awareness, with intentionality. Um, like even creating a meal, like when you cook for your family during the holidays, or whatever, or whenever, or generally, don't just cook for nourishment, but you're creating from different, like it's like different colors of paint put together, create um like a picture or a drawing, or you have different ingredients and you put them together in a certain way and it creates this meal. Like it's a different perspective, it's a different way of experiencing yourself in it. And with this awareness and presence in the situation and presence in our bodies, it becomes a different experience. It makes the difference between a creative experience or just doing shit in your life. Mm. And this is a way, and there are so many other ways. And if try to figure it out, like just play around with it, or just have the awareness of like an hour ago when I was feeling a lot of pressure, and I didn't feel creative at all, but I was like, I had this idea for this podcast, but it created a lot of pressure, but I'll get to that. I wasn't in the zone, I wasn't present. So I did what I like talked about. I felt myself in my body, then I put on some music that opened the portal, and all of a sudden, okay, I was more present with myself in this situation. And then I opened my eyes and I looked around, and all of a sudden I could look at the sun in the sky because there were so many clouds that you could see, actually look directly into the sun without being blinded. And it was like looking at a full moon, like a vibrant full moon in the middle of the day, but it was the sun. And I took so many pictures. I took so many slow-mo videos of it, normal videos, and I edited them and I made it super mysterious. And all of a sudden, I felt like myself again. I felt life as in this creative experience zone, because I first was present, made sure I was present in my body and myself, and then I knew what for me sparks this this opens this portal into this zone. And then I was present and just looked around, and with the intention of what how can I make what I see special? Is there something, like, can I look at something and not just see the something, but can I look at something and see the art in it? Like the sun, all of a sudden, oh my God, is it the sun or the moon in the middle of the day? Oh, with the clouds, and then this filter on top of it and little grain and stuff. And all of a sudden, oh my God, it's like straight from a mystic romance novel. And oh my God, like having this kind of fun with it, with regular things you see. Or I don't know, I'm looking outside right now and I could just see the balcony, but like compare, like I see it in the backdrop, like there's this forest behind the our balcony here, and one tree, it looks like a queen because it has, like, it looks like a crown, and besides there's a slightly smaller tree and it looks like a king, because I don't know, it's the one tree looks more female, the other more male, or whatever. And all of a sudden they become, I don't know, king and queen, and the whole thing, and then with the sun moon in the sky, all of a sudden becomes an a story, and this is how, and I'm sitting here on my balcony and I'm watching it and they're performing for me. I don't know. It's a different way of experiencing life, and that we lose that so easily when there's during stressful times, like when there's a lot going on during the holidays. We're everywhere, and I totally get that we literally don't have the time to make space for to tap into that. I mean, like I said, winter solstice on Sunday, I had all the time in the world to tap into that. That was easy. Well, it wasn't that easy, but But on Monday and Tuesday were packed. Everything packed. I didn't have, like, the couple of minutes I had. I used to, like, just close my eyes and and drift into oblivion for a couple of minutes, just to get by. And it's not about doing this every day, but it's having it in mind that this is a possibility for us whenever the moment arrives that it could become possible to tap into it. And yes, maybe you actually find the time and the because it's not just finding the time when there's so much going on. The 5 minutes you have, you're still so stressed, you can't just relax doing these 5 minutes. It's ridiculous when people say it. Oh, you just have to find 5 minutes a day to just relax. Yes, sometimes that works, but sometimes it just doesn't fucking work. It just doesn't work because you're so strung that you would need more than 5 minutes to unwind or calm down, or I, like, on Monday it was like nonstop. And I told, like, I knew that yes, I could take 5 to 10 minutes now to before like before I had to go to the next appointment. I could take 5 10 minutes. I could make the time, but I'm so high strung that I know I have to leave in 15 minutes. I can't just relax. It wasn't possible in that moment, and that is totally okay. We're not machines that, like, just like we're not machines that can go nonstop. We're not machines. We can't just switch things off. We can't just switch stress off when we know we have to, it's gonna be turned on in the, like, next minute again. And that is okay. Feeling like we should be able to do that all the time, it creates even more stress. So it's okay if you can't unwind during the 5 minutes you have. Just be aware that it could be a possibility. And if it's not working, then it's not working. Just close your eyes and not do anything particularly, whatever. Or just grab your arms and your body and your skin and just feel. even if it doesn't make a big difference, it signals to your body that you're here, and that is enough sometimes. Um, However, even if it's not possible on a Monday, on the Tuesday, maybe it's possible on the Wednesday to take your time a little more, give yourself a little more space. Maybe when you have like 3 hours or two or whatever, um, maybe there will be a moment during a day where you feel it's possible to take this, give yourself this space to really return your awareness to your body and really return your awareness to what, like the things that could open the portal for you, or and then really, or just look around. And even if you say, okay, I want to nurture this, I'm not feeling present, I'm not feeling creative, I'm not feeling the creative experience. However, I want to make the effort of taking a beautiful picture, even if it's of the whole family being present. Like when it's high life outside or it's super stressful, a lot going on, you take one picture that is artistically, not just taking a pic, but capturing the scene, the stressful scene, the high life going on around you, just capturing this with an artist through an artistic lens. And then you did more than if you hadn't done it. That's what I mean. So yeah, this is the this is what came to me this morning when I was in bed. I was awake, and then I just turned around, and all of a sudden I had this idea for talk to you about that. And what happened then, because in the beginning I said something about pressure, um and during, like, in the morning, like I said, I felt like I felt creatively again, felt the creative experience, but all of a sudden there was this pressure to actually put it out there. And that's a whole different thing, like actually feeling the pressure to be creative. Because especially when we don't feel very creative, we don't experience ourselves as creatives when there's so much stress going on, or there's the holidays, when there's a lot going on. We feel like sometimes, like I feel the pressure to not create, but to feel creative again. And pressuring ourselves to feel creative, it won't work. It won't work. And I know that, but I still feel pressure sometimes. This is why I'm recording this episode, not just to, like, it's for me, and I hope it supports you too, but it's basically self-therapy here. But yeah, this pressure to I like what pressure to come back to this place. And I had this idea, like when I released the pressure, there was this idea, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then all of a sudden I had more like a new kind of pressure to actually put it out there. um and I realized that it's a shift from, like, I felt it as a chore. I wasn't yet fully present in my, oh, I feel I'm in the creative experience. I wasn't then, but I had this idea, and I felt pressure, but I only felt the pressure to create something because I wasn't in this creative experience, because there was so much going on in my life. And it's such a shame to feel so much pressure around creating stuff. And I hate it when creating something becomes a chore. But somehow, like, there's a part of me that feels like, okay, I just, like, if I just pushed it out, maybe I feel more creative then. Well, that won't work, and I know it, but I don't know. It's very hard to let that go. So I'm working on, like, I set with this pressure, and I try, like, releasing this pressure, because I know once the pressure is gone, or when I don't feel pressure, But when I'm in the creative experience zone, creating won't feel like a chore. It will feel like something that just naturally comes out of you. It won't feel like a chore. And that's the place where we want to like we want to head to this place where this state, mm, not because the other state is bad or something, but it's like I said, it's about how do we experience life? How do we experience ourselves in our lives? Like, is it just chores and stress, or is it like, oh my God, I look at the sky and there's the sun, or is it the moon? And then, and all these things. It's a way of experiencing yourself. It's a lifestyle. I don't know. So of course we prefer this one state and not the other. So I tried to like I would I s- it's never about resistance, like, oh, I want the stress to go away, I want the pressure to go away, and how can I just close my eyes? That is not going to work, because the pressure, the stress, it's in our bodies, it's not in our heads. Like, ultimately it's in our bodies. That's why somatic work is such an important factor when we're creatives. Mm. So again, I came back to my body and I felt like, where's this pressure in my body? Where do I feel it? And I felt it in my legs and in my arms. So I pushed my two hands together to actively like, let pressure enter the stage. Like, okay, pressure, you're on now. So I'm giving you space here. I'm giving you, like, this is your stage. You're being seen. And I just pressed my hands together, actively, consciously, intentionally creating pressure, and then intentionally releasing the pressure when I, like, flung my arms to the sides. And this is just a little somatic practice that helped release the pressure in my body. And I did this a couple of times until I felt, okay, now it feels different in my body. Mm, because I moved it through. I let it be there. I surrendered to it being there. It's okay. I gave it space. I acted it out in a way, and then it could go on. It could move on. It's just like, it wants to be seen. It is being seen, and okay, now I can go. Mm. And it really helped me in staying connected to my body, staying connected to myself, and in the zone, while also, yeah, giving space to this pressure without give like, I'm recording this not because I felt pressured to do it, but the pressure has been released before that, and all of a sudden I was more present in myself, and I could tap into this zone where it just naturally comes out. So I'm recording this because I felt, oh my God, yeah, the sun or the moon in the sky, and the king and queen trees up there, and I'm sitting on the balcony in there. Oh my God, it's cool. And oh yeah, I have this idea for this to talk about on my podcast about this topic, and okay, oh, I'm so in the mood for that, and now I could do it. I couldn't have done it yesterday when there was so much going on, but on Monday, no chance, no chance to do anything. Yesterday, I found like a moment where I could reconnect to myself. Okay, but no thinking of doing anything creative. Okay, that's okay. Today, I found again a chance to reconnect to my body. Oh, there's pressure. Oh, I even have the space to do this little practice. And we're talking 5 minutes here. We're talking 5 minutes. And while I was drinking my coffee, I listened to music instead of watching a show, instead of watching Modern Family, even though I was tempted. But I was very, very aware that this wasn't the right place. I felt, and this is also like, it's about awareness in everyday moments. It's not, we have to make space and do like an immense session and found our awareness, whatever. It's in the little things. Like, I was sitting this morning, I was like having a coffee. I was like, okay, mm, let's watch Modern Family. And something in me, I felt it, even though my mind said, no, I just want to feel like I'm on vacation here and I just want to watch Modern Family. But my body, she wanted different things. I felt very jittery. I didn't feel calm, and I didn't look forward to actually watching Modern Family. I usually do, so something was off. Okay, so I closed the app and I opened my music app and listened to some magic, like my playlist that's called Magic, because it includes songs that have the capacity, like the whole that hold the magic to open the portal to the magic for me. um, and I listened to the music while I was drinking my coffee, and it made a difference. And being aware of that, being aware of the of little things like that, and acting on it, and not ignoring it, it makes such a difference. And it all, like, it's not just one thing we do to release stress or release the pressure. It's little things we do every day, little things we do, little choices, like, am I just looking at the sky and okay, yeah, there are clouds, there's a little sun, it's not really sunny because there's so many clouds? Or is it, oh, the clouds and the sun and the moon, you know? And it doesn't take much time, it doesn't take you away from the stress, but it's a different way of experiencing it. And this is it's the little things we always can do if we remember doing them, and that's what this episode also is about, to remind myself and, yeah, remind us all that even when there's a lot going on, we can find, like, there are little things we can do to nurture the creative experience, to feeling creative, even if we even if it's not happening today or the next day. Each thing we do will lead to being able to tap back into it once we actually have a little more space. So it's okay if you don't have a lot of time today or during the holidays or general in life to make a big fuss about tapping back into the creative experience. It's one thing you can do. It's like feeling yourself in your body just for a minute there, or reminding yourself or remembering that, okay, I can look at this like this, or I can look at it like an artist. In each situation, am I preparing my meal? Am I eating just to eat, or am I eating like I'm, oh my god, I have a piece of art here, oh my god, it's beautiful, what are the components, you know? It doesn't take time away from the busy schedule. It's just how we experience what we do anyway. And doing this, and even if it's just once a day, it's more than not doing it. It makes more of a difference than it would make if we don't do it, you know? Then it makes no difference. And then when there's a little bit more space, we can do a little bit more of what brings us back into this creative experience. So yeah, and like I said, when we feel the tension in our bodies, there are small practices we can do. They also don't take a lot of time. Like, we have to go to the bathroom anyway. You can take the time to press your hands together, giving space to the pressure and the stress, and then releasing it while you're sitting on the toilet. I mean, it even fits. Okay, this is getting out of hand, but you know what I mean. We don't always, like, it's no fucking excuse. And I'm telling this, like, this is for myself as much as it is for you. There's no excuse to not do it, because even if I'm not, like I said, it's not about taking 5 minutes when you're high strung to calm down, because sometimes this won't work. but we can remember looking at the thing before us in one way or the other. It is possible to, when we, I don't know, sit on the toilet, to press our hands together or just feel our body, or just show, even if we don't feel relief in this moment, it gives a signal to our bodies, and it's more than not doing it. It makes more of a difference than not doing it. Even if your mind doesn't feel a difference, it makes a difference, and you have to trust that. So I think supper's ready. Supper's ready. It's a song of Genesis. My dad. I'm just looking at the Genesis album my dad collected. So supper's ready. Such a nerd inside. Okay, I hope you have a stressful time and realize how you can experience it differently. I hope you have a peaceful time that allows you to become more aware in yourself, and that supports you and gives you the space to tap back into the creative experience. No matter what, I hope you feel creatively and you feel yourself and have an amazing experience of life.